welcome back to Faye Watch.
Hello.
This is Rachel. I'm joined by Dina and Will, as always.
Per usual.
Cheerio. Indeed. Tidings. Season's greetings to all. And we're back. We're in the thick of it, obviously. Thank God we have Miss Dina Marie to shepherd us through sort of the action scene to end all action scenes, really. She's our action scene expert. She's the girl, so we're in good hands.
I'm the only one who tends to read them.
Exactly. Yes, that is correct. And so I'm just going to I'm going to turn it over to you, Dina.
Amazing. This reference will be like a month old by the time this episode comes out. We got a little bit of Barbie in here. We get a little bit of Oppenheimer. We get a little bit of Barbenheimer going on in this
zeitgeist. We're in the zeitgeist.
We are in the zeitgeist. Again, just pretend if you're listening to this that we're still in that zeitgeist all together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So when we last left off, our cold killer, Bryce, was just vacuuming up Micah's ashes. Mm-hmm. Very hot of her, very great. Now everybody's just processing and reeling.
Yeah. And, you'd really think that all that just went down would be enough for one day.
You would think.
No.
Bryce is texting Jessica and it's like, okay, great. Everybody saw it. Everybody at the summit is like, oh my God, what the heck do we do? Bryce is puking into a trash can. Super relatable. Mm-hmm. Everybody's like, whew, at least Micah's experiment with the horn didn't work.
Whoops.
But guess what it did? Everybody at the summit turns back to the screen and Bryce opens up the door and they see that basically all of the gates in the city have opened and there's a portal to hell that somehow is open. So it's not like another world. Well, I guess hell is kind of technically another world, but all these demons are pouring into the city.
Out of each gate.
Out of all 7 gates.
It's tough.
Feels like shit is indeed not only still going down, but going down even further.
Mm-hmm.
Props to my girl, Queen Hypaxia, who, as everybody is distracted by this, does not get distracted herself, but instead looks at Hunt and frees him from his Gorsian manacles while everybody is confused and flustered by all the demons. So she's taken her moment.
Love Hypaxia. Yeah, whatever it is. I'm on board.
Yeah, no matter what she wants.
She's put in a really good showing at the summit meeting.
No, for sure. For the oysters.
Yeah,
and
she's displayed facility across multiple different disciplines.
Wow. It's one to watch.
Okay, so for this app, we're gonna be toggling back in between, right? What's Bryce up to? What's everybody up to at the summit? Yep. Boom, 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 boom. Things happening all around.
And again, conveniently, the summit that they're all trapped at, sort of for now, they do obviously have live streams of everything that's happening.
Of course.
To Bryce.
Well, yeah.
Of course.
Do they even have audio at some point?
Yeah.
Jump ahead, but they're like, let's get Bryce's audio.
Yeah. No, we got audio, we got video. And also, they're far enough away that they can't come help right now, but they could be there a certain amount of time, but it's not immediate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A kind of dramatically tense amount of time.
Right. Precisely.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Bryce, first of all, is like, fuck, gotta keep Siri safe, right? Mm-hmm. So she's sprinting back to her apartment, which, again, I just love that she leaves him at the apartment, takes the lid off the food. There's demons all across the city, and she's like, gotta make sure Siri has his food.
Yeah, she thinks to herself, he can feed himself. I'll take off the thing. Well, yeah, I mean, again, he's a chimera, so again, he could probably get the lid off anyway.
Right.
Like, he's probably not gonna die.
Right.
From starvation.
Listen, she loves her Syrinx, but...
No, as a pet owner, I get those priorities.
Yeah.
Is half the city about to die? Maybe. But God forbid Siri doesn't get his dinner.
Syrinx is not missing a meal, okay? Yeah.
That would be Phoebe. My cat would be like, I don't care how many people are dying.
She makes a little nest on the couch for him, so he's cozy.
So funny.
Yeah. And then she has her, video game character loading up, suiting up moment.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She slings a sword over her back. She tucks one of Hunt's handguns in the waist of her jeans. She's sliding packs of ammo all over her pockets, everywhere she can go.
I appreciate this because it would take me so long to dress for battle. I'd be like, how does this sword go again? What? I have to put some in my I hate having things in my pockets. I would not want to put ammo in my pockets.
I think that's why everybody, I don't know, it doesn't seem like Bryce has this, but that's why they have all those leather things with all those little sleeve leather pockets.
They have lots of straps,
Yeah.
Although Bryce, I think we know, is she's got her really hot Lululemon outfit on.
She
and
does.
Lululemon does have good pockets on the side. Like, so hopefully there's some of that.
I think it actually mentions at some point that she has her phone or something in the back waistband pocket of her leggings. And it's good to know that Lululemon is still making those leggings.
Well, at one point, she's like, when she's, this is getting ahead a little bit, where she's on the phone with someone, she's like sprinting through this hellscape of a city, and she puts her phone under her bra strap on speakerphone so she can run and talk. Is amazing.
It's so good. Essentially, in the city, they have all these bomb shelters. And I guess when shit goes down, they open for an hour. So before she heads out, she calls Juniper to make sure that she gets somewhere safe. And Juniper is at the ballet with all these rich people. I don't know. I feel like this wouldn't have even been a big enough deal to mention, except for the fact that Miss fucking Sarah J includes dialogue. Did you guys catch this about holding the door?
No.
You can't just like use the phrase hold the door and expect me not to like immediately start crying. You know what I mean? Game of Thrones?
Oh, yeah. Was this pre or post that?
That's what I was wondering. I don't know if she wrote it before.
I think she might have written it before.
But it definitely just held more weight, I guess, after that scene imparted that feeling into those words. For me, at least, kind of forever.
Well, you know, art is always sort of contextualized by life that its author didn't even really intend.
Wow. So wise, Will. So wise.
Wow.
Bryce then, gazing out over the streets, hangs up with Juniper, and instead of going to a bomb shelter herself, just dives right into the chaos of the street itself.
Oh, yeah.
For no real concrete purpose that I can tell.
I think just to help as many people as she can.
Yeah, she's just vaguely helping.
Yeah. She's providing cover for people so they can run.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It's just... There's a lack of strategy, I would say.
What? She does have strategy. She starts going right for Asphodel Meadows to the humans.
Oh, okay. That's true.
I guess that's true.
Because she knows all the rich, powerful people are going to
be fine.
Yeah. So back to the summit, speaking of, where all the powerful people are gathered and safe. Obviously, we got our boy Declan, who's like pulling up all these video feeds.
Of course. Tech gay.
Of course, our little tech boy is on it, and they're like, going from gate to gate, and they're looking at all of the areas where all the powerful people live, and they're like already safe. There's all these fey areas that have these iridescent bubbles of guards or whatever. And this is classic kids against the parents kind of thing, because Sabine and the Autumn King are like, these are the protocols. If you don't follow the protocols, you have chaos. And then you have Rune and Hunt and Declan, and I think even Amelie or the wolves or whatever. They all want to go help, and they're like, fuck the protocols.
It's like Spy Kids.
It is like Spy Kids. Wow. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And currently, because I know later Fury's like, oh, I have a chopper. My chopper's coming. But like right now, they're like, oh, we're too far away. Why right now are we not?
Right. Okay. So yeah. So like everybody's just watching, being like, what the fuck is happening? Get everybody on it, right? And nobody's getting up to move until my queen bitch girl, Hypaxia, just calls our people and is like, suit up and move out. We're going in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's when they learn, leading by example. And that's when we learn that everything in the armory is destroyed. So the witches' brooms are destroyed. All the helicopters are destroyed. The cars are destroyed. Ammo and weapons and stuff are destroyed because Micah, that little villainous prick, just kind of didn't want anybody to get in the middle of him experimenting with Bryce and murdering her.
Right. Which now, in hindsight, what was Micah gonna fucking do if all the demons came out into the city? You know, if he killed Bryce, but now there are all these, like, what was his fucking plan?
Well, I think he was planning to just see if he could open a portal to another world. I think he fucked up and accidentally opened the one to hell.
Open 7. But, like...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. The plan was... It felt like he was more like, let's experiment and see what happens.
Like, chaos is the plan?
Maybe.
Also, another question that's occurring to me now is if he did the synth to her and thought she was going to die, you kind of only get one shot at using the horn, unless her corpse is, I guess, the horn now.
Oh my God.
I think SJM even mentions that. Bryce is like, yeah, he would whatever. Because at one point, he's going to, sorry to get gruesome, he like takes out his knife at one point when they're fighting to like cut it off of her because he was just going to carry that around.
Gross.
But yeah, kind of unclear why, because all of these people at the summit could be his allies in this, because they're the ruling class under the Asteri. So
Yeah.
I think we're just going to have to put a pin in some of our disbelief, because all the people at the summit, wouldn't they hear all of their hey, there's been a massive explosion in the garage,
Right,
all the
yeah.
cars, helicopters,
Yeah.
but okay.
He seems to have really misplayed his hand.
They clearly were just so riveted by discussions of the oysters.
Yeah.
They're like, no, hold all my calls.
Nothing will disrupt me from the oysters.
Also,
Yes.
lol, because the whole summit is sort of model UN, because they just have to do whatever the Asteri say anyway, so everyone's just kind of pretending that they're participating.
Yeah. Anyway, Hypaxia is like, fuck it. Would rather die like her than watch innocent people die while I sit in this fucking conference room.
Not me, but fine.
Right. But again, nobody can go anywhere. Then Declan picks up Bryce running through the city. And obviously, this is when he's like, all right, I think we can get our audio. Clickety clack, 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 clack.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
They're like merging calls. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, wow, so helpful. Cool. She's yelling, get into the shelters, get inside now. And there's this really cute moment where all her training with Randall, every hour between the boulders and pines of the mountains around her home, every hour in the town rec hall, all of it had been for this. And it's, oh, sweet Randall just trained her. I just love our
all
moment.
that combat training.
All that
with
combat
Yeah.
training that maybe you haven't practiced in a while is just
Right.
coming back.
Not to, but one has to wonder, a world in which she wasn't raised with combat training, would she have made the kind of questionable decision to single-handedly run through the city and fight demons by herself?
Oh, right. Or would she just be in the bomb shelter?
Yeah. But whatever.
Yeah, but I just love a moment when our hero comes into their powers.
Oh,
and
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, again, back to the summit where they're like, oh, fuck, guess we're stranded. And then obviously, again, my girl Fury, so hot, so prepared, is like, well, obviously I have a helicopter offsite.
Yeah. Duh.
Also, we didn't really talk about it. Fury getting to come to the governing summit I don't understand her role either. She and Jezebel are sort of self-made women doing their own little thing, but it's quite unclear.
Yeah.
Right. Who is Fury there for?
I think just herself. She's just sort of repping herself.
Oh, I would assume there's some big client. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who is the client?
Oh, maybe.
We don't really know. There's some question marks for sure.
Yeah. But either, it's not a question mark.
What?
She's hot.
She's hot.
Oh, she's tough hot.
I picture her as, what's her name? Jane, Daria's best friend.
Wow, yes.
I can't help it. I
the short
literally
black
just see Jane.
bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who? Whomst?
Daria. You know the cartoon Daria?
Dora?
Daria.
Daria.
Oh my God, Will.
Anyways, the list. Some of the girlies will know.
The like black combat boots, the red cargo jacket kind of thing. Yeah. That's
have no
exactly
idea
right.
who you're
Okay,
talking
we'll
about.
educate you after this episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. I know you guys aren't big on action sequences, but this is kind of emotional because you have all these people who are watching this happen and comment on it. And so you get moments like this where Hunt is yelling at Sabine, get wolves to the old square to help out. And Sabine is like, if there are no wolves left, they're all kind of dying. And then the prime of the wolves, who's the old guy who everybody's like, oh, is he even still there? Opens his eyes and looks to the feeds and is like, one wolf remains in the old square.
Which is sweet, but I'm also this is not helpful at all, my man. You're not really contributing to the effort in a real way. I will say this is a really sweet scene, and while I don't love action sequences, I do love a peanut gallery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I loved it. And even when like Sabine's like, no, Dad, that's just Danica's sword you're seeing. And he's like, no, that's a wolf, a true wolf. I thought that was really beautiful.
No, that was very sweet.
That inspires Hunt to have an idea. And so he phones up the Viper Queen who had previously, if we remember, turned him over to Micah and is like, you fucking owe me a favor. This is when we get to Bryce's phone in her bra. She's running. She is calling Jessiba. She's like, patch me into the summit as she's slashing demons or whatever. And she's like, tell whoever's there, I need backup at the meadows. I'm heading to the mortal gate, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, her brother and Hunt are like, no, save yourself. And she's like, fuck you guys.
No.
And like her rifle's booming and she's like, boom, 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 killing demons over here.
Yeah.
And then I guess there had been other people on the phone because they're all calling.
Yeah, who can
and
say?
so Bryce hears a voice be like, I'm coming to you, Bryce. And she knows whose voice it is. It's our sweet Ethan's.
Heretofore not the sweetest, but becoming sweet once again.
About to redeem.
We might get a little redemption arc right here, just to say. And so Sabine's like, absolutely not. You're not allowed to do that. And he's like, no, Bryce, we're all coming. We've talked about SJM being a dog person before in terms of Fleetfoot and Siri.
Yeah.
But this for me was when it was like, oh,
She a dog person.
it was all, not only the wolves, the jackals, the coyotes, the wild dogs, the common dogs, the hyenas, the dingoes.
All of the dogs.
All of the dogs. It was who they were, who they had always been.
Are there just hyenas hanging out? What's happening?
Hyena shifters.
Oh,
Yeah.
shifters.
Yeah.
They're all
Oh,
shifters.
okay.
Yeah, they're all
They were just
shifters.
wild hyenas running through the city.
Also, I'm so sorry. I do want to return to the sweet thing that Dina's about to finish saying, but I do just want to flag. I guess I did know this. We get this at the beginning of the book when Danica shifts and she's the size of a horse, but it was re-emphasized again that when they shift into wolves, they're shifting into wolves that are like the size of horses, which just seems a little bit crazy to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy. The other thing, relatedly on the shifting, I can't remember if we talked about this before. They shift with their clothes on. We deserve like a naked Ethan,
Right,
shifting
yeah.
out of wolf form into
Right.
human form instead of he's in a hoodie with jeans or some shit.
There comes a time in every fantasy author's life when they have to decide whether they're going to be a shifting with clothes on or a shifting
Yeah.
with clothes off author. And
Yep.
SJM took the clothes on route. And I think we're all living with the consequences.
I do think it would be really hard to take some of the next scenes seriously if there were just all these people with their little, sorry, but things are just flopping all over.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
But they'd be considerable things for sure.
Yeah.
Ethan has a considerable thing.
Yeah, for sure.
No cue.
For sure. But
No cue.
alas, not the
And
time.
Ethan, because coming back to the size,
To the size. Yeah.
his size as a wolf is really big. And so, one wonders if there's a correlation there.
You know what they say about
Big paws.
big wolf shifting form.
Okay, but before we got on this tangent, Dina was saying it's very sweet.
Yeah.
This is what the dogs, all the different dogs, this is what they do.
Yeah, they defend the defenseless. And so
Yeah.
they all start sprinting for Bryce in the meadows, which I just find so sweet. But Bryce obviously does not know if they're going to make it. And then, of course, we reach this crescendo moment where there's, she runs out of bullets in her rifle. Is she going to die? Is she not, or whatever? And then no, she was just distracting this demon, because then an enormous gray wolf comes and
Wow.
rips the demon into hot Ethan, giant wolf, right on time, baby.
And then he shifts into a human with clothes on.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He does unfortunately have a navy t-shirt and jeans on, to be clear. They have this moment where they look at each other. Their stare is held, and all the words she needed to say hung there. She saw them in his eyes too, as he realized whose jacket and sword she bore. And so they smile and nod at each other, and it's like, okay, we'll talk about this later.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in this.
We're going to put a
but-
pin in this. We're going to be allies.
Yeah.
I'm picturing them back to back, fighting all the
classic.
fighting all the
Fighting
demons.
stance.
Oh, yeah. A duo.
For sure. And also, Will, you really need to fucking finish Throne of Glass, because this, to me, Rachel was giving Aelin and Fenris. But Will, you don't get that, so you need to finish it.
I don't get it, but I do feel like it's pretty common to have a little, it's kind of like makeup sex, but it's like two rivals join.
Yeah.
They kind of make up by fighting off a greater evil together. And then
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're trauma bonded, and so then they're going to be friends. Okay, so now we're at the point where it's 4 minutes until the doors close. Lucky for us, we have Deck, who's counting down. He's like tracking the clocks, and he's clickety clacking.
yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
He's got
there's like
so many feeds.
can't seem to keep the doors open, but he's got the clock. He's got the clock going.
What a good point, Will. There clearly was no way to hack the doors. But yeah, so he's counting down. Rune and Hunt are like, we gotta get there, blah, blah, blah. Which, again, is Fury's helicopter there yet? What are they doing? Come on, move faster.
How far offside is this helicopter?
Right. Bryce and Ethan realize, and Declan's like, 1 minute, 30 seconds. And they're all like, run, Bryce, run. And so Bryce and Ethan are running to the doors. And this is another just classic of the genre.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you have like all the other wolves who are there and they're trying to hold the doors open for them. These like giant cement metal doors. And there's one particular young wolf who's not giving up and is really trying to hold the doors for them, which I just loved. Again, that will always have emotion about people and doors from now on.
Wow, just huge door-based journey for you.
Like, truly.
Yeah, you're door-pilled.
I really am. And obviously, Ethan and Bryce are charging for the door, and there's only room for one of them, and Bryce realizes it first and feigns a step backward and then shoves Ethan through the door right as it closes.
She's annoying me a little bit. I get this is what heroes do, but she's being kind of obnoxiously selfish this episode.
Selfless.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think in her defense, it does say she couldn't save Connor, but she can save his little brother.
Yeah, I get it.
I think she has a lot of guilt.
I get it.
I think she has like a lot of guilt about having, I don't know, as if she could have saved Danica and everybody. So I feel like she's...
About Micah murdering someone else.
Right.
Okay.
Correct. The door is closed. Sunset is upon us. That means that a lot of other demons who can't even handle being in the light because they're so evil or whatever are going to be coming out. Bryce is like, fuck. She's kind of alone now. Like, what do I do? And then she has an idea and starts running.
She's getting her steps in today.
She's for
sure. You have to say that.
I hope she has her Apple Watch on and she's getting credit for all those steps. She definitely
has a Fitbit. There's no way she doesn't.
Because that would actually suck if she was doing all this and then she didn't get credit on her Apple Watch.
Yeah, because what would the point have been?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's running directly toward the gate in the middle of the old square. She kind of pauses when she gets there and like hides in a little bit of a corner and takes out her phone. And it says Hunt knew exactly what she was doing. She was calling to say goodbye. And he's like, oh, I'm sure she's calling her parents. And then a phone rings in the summit and everybody's like, ooh, whose phone is this? Plot twist, Sandrill is holding onto Hunt's phone. Honestly, worse punishment than a lot of kinds of torture. You know what I mean?
Which
having your phone taken?
Which part?
Yeah.
Oh,
having like your phone taken by the teacher and you're just like, God damn it.
I thought you were going to talk about having to watch someone say goodbye to you before they die. But yeah, also your phone.
Right. Also not having your phone.
Yeah.
And so obviously Bryce is like, call my mom, tell her I love her, tell Rune I'm sorry, tell Fury I'm sorry, I forgive you, all this stuff.
She's covering all the bases.
She is covering all the bases. She's like, I'm sorry, I forgive you to everyone.
Right. Like, I'm sorry, thank you, I forgive you, I love you, all of the above, check, A, B, C, D. But she also mentions both to Fury and Rune something about, I'm sorry I lied, I would have told you the truth, I did it to help you. At this point, I'm like, the fuck is she talking about? And then she and Hunt have this moment where she's like, I was waiting for you.
Wow.
She means no, like I in my heart, like I was waiting for you. And he's like, I was waiting for you too.
Aww.
And they're just crying and it's really cute.
Tearjerker.
Right. And again, no convo about the synth. I get it, not the time. But she's just like, I forgive you. Nothing matters. And then she hangs up and puts her phone down and then runs for the gate. And they're all like, what the fuck is she doing?
What is she doing, Dina?
Yeah, what is she doing? No, really, what?
Oh my gosh, let me tell you. I am so excited that we finally get to talk about this because I fucking love this. She gets to the gate and all of a sudden there's a light coming from her and emanating from her. Her eyes are closed. Her hair is drifting above her head. Like gravity doesn't really apply to her anymore. And then she's holding this orb of light that's shining so brightly that it casts the rest of the world into grays and blacks. Rune knows immediately what's happening. It just falls to his knees.
In the conference room.
In the conference room. Yeah. So she looks at the gate and she's like, I'm Bryce Quinlan, heir to the Starborn Fae. And it turns out that this bitch has been hiding a fucking star inside of her her entire life.
Wow.
Which, she has this whole thing, the whole book. She's no one. I'm nothing.
Yeah.
I have nothing. And she has the power of a sun. So, like, whoops.
Right. We get a little bit of background here by way of finally figuring out what the fuck happened at the motorcycle accident that we got referenced 100 times. She and Danica were about to be murdered by these guys, and it was very last resort, which I'm like, I feel like you could have...
Earlier.
Did it have to be last resort? Could it have been medium to last resort?
Yeah.
But only for Danica would she do this, and... give away the secret, which,
She
also
would have
you
let-
were about to die.
Right.
Hello.
Like, if it would have been someone else, I think I would have just let us been executed.
Right? That's what it implies. I'm like, ugh, can we not? But yeah, so basically what happened was they were about to die, and then she told Danica to close her eyes, and then she exploded in this white blinding light and basically blinded all these guys, and then grabs the gun and shoots them all. That is also what happened, we learn, when she and her parents were escaping, and the Autumn King's henchmen caught up to them. She blinded them.
And the Oracle, that's how she blinded the Oracle. The Oracle saw the blinding light or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. So apparently she has the pure light of a star from another world, which again, I'm like, what world? What world? Gift of the Ancient Fae, reborn again. It talks about how as soon as she met Rune, she knew she could trust him with it. She wanted to tell him, but he was so excited about being starborn, she didn't want to ruin it.
Tiptoeing around these fragile male egos.
Truly, her dad too, and the Autumn King. And she was like, okay, clearly he can't handle it, and then it's going to mess up his relationship with Rune. But now everybody fucking knows because she's standing at the gate. She's holding a literal fucking star. Light is flowing out of her chest. And it says that she finally feels calm. She's kept the secret for so long. She's kind of relieved. But she does have some things to do. She has a plan. She has an hypothesis. And so she takes all the light and basically shoves it into the gate and is like, close, motherfucker, basically.
It does.
Sure, yeah. So what happens next? Why aren't we done? I don't understand.
Here's the problem, is that there are 7. There are 7 gates.
Right.
So she closes one of them, but then she's so exhausted, can't move right away. Whatever. We get a little bit of intermission. The Autumn King is really clearly not even worried about the demons or about his daughter dying, but instead is worried about calling his ex-wife, Ember, Bryce's mom, to be like, why the fuck didn't you tell me about this?
Yeah.
And Ember, like, queen bitch who I love, is basically laughing at him and is like, I've been waiting for this call for more than 20 years.
I guess also she's not getting her like New York Times push alerts.
I was wondering that too.
It's like, you're like kind of pretty sassy for someone whose daughter is in a city being invaded by demons. But
okay. That's what I was like, clearly this news is not getting out or something because Ember does not appear concerned. Queen bitch Hypaxia has her ulterior motive. A soft female hand landed atop Hunt's. Queen Hypaxia, her dark brown eyes glowed when he looked over in surprise. Her power was a song of warmth through him. It was a hammer to every wall and obstacle placed on him, and he felt that power focus on the halo spell upon his brow.
Wow.
They have this moment where he looks at Sandriel and she looks at Sandriel and then looks at him and then nods, and she's basically setting him up to murder her.
Love.
Wow.
She's a schemer. She's a planner.
Love.
She is.
Love her.
Thank
Love
God.
this.
But for Hypaxia, no one there would have been equipped to handle anything that was happening.
Yep, exactly. And I think, again, Hypaxia kind of realized what was happening before a lot of them did, because Sandriel is sneakily on her phone and then looks up and is like, don't worry, I took care of it. And basically she just ratted Bryce out to the Asteri. And so they realize now the Asteris obviously are going to want to kill Bryce because they wouldn't want somebody to have that power. TLDR, Hypaxia frees Hunt of his little crown that was holding back all of his power. Hunt realizes that Sandriel just set Bryce up to be killed, and Hunt basically goes into a blind rage. The kind that we've seen before from mates, I would say.
Interesting.
Which was interesting. And he essentially lets all of this lightning out that has been repressed forever, and everybody huddles under the conference room table. You know, he kind of just rips Sandriel's head from her neck with his two hands.
She sort of gets smote.
She does sort of get flayed from the inside out.
Tough break.
She kind of had it coming.
She's asking for it.
There's like moment where Hunt's just holding her head and she still looks like she's screaming. It's like really creepy.
Yes.
And then he just drops it.
Anyway, Hunt gets on a helicopter and like falls out of the sky onto Bryce next. Right.
Yeah, pretty much. Finally, Fury's helicopter is there. They all run up to the roof. Obviously, Rune is like, I'm coming. Obviously, Flynn is like, anything for my princess. Like, we're going, we're rolling. Obviously, Declan is the will of the situation and is like, okay, I'll be our eyes and ears from here.
Yeah. I'm going to man the fort.
Yeah. There are not enough gays for us to lose one to some stupid ass plan.
Honestly, respect to SJM for that. Save the gays, you know?
Yeah.
not killing the gays.
Unclear where Isaiah is during this whole thing. He's around, sort of, but I don't really know where he goes.
No, he's there because all the angels bow to Hunt after he kills Sandro.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
and they're
about
kind of
that.
like, we're really not going to think about what this means. But then they all just follow him.
He is Angel BDE.
Yeah, exactly. Hunt can't fly yet because of his wings, so he's in the helicopter. Obviously, our cheeky chap Therian goes with the crew. He's ready to rumble.
They're mobbing.
Yeah, they're rolling. Fury's helicopter is like this sick, matte black security. You know what I mean? Like there's weapons everywhere again. So hot, she's flying it. We love it. They realize that the Asteri have sent these basically tanks with brimstone missiles on them, which TLDR nuclear weapons, right?
Yeah, tactical nukes. But
yeah, they're probably trying to just kill Bryce, fuck up the gates that the demons stop coming. They just don't really care about the...
Yeah, I feel like the vibe was, this is how we're going to destroy all the demons if we happen to also kill this inconveniently powerful new person. That'd be great too.
I love that Fury gets on the radio and tries to tell them to stand down.
Yeah.
Pure lesbian arrogance. I love it. So great. As if they're going to listen to you, but get it, girl.
Yeah. It was a nice try.
Okay, so then that's when they shoot one missile off. It doesn't go near Bryce, but there's still so much rubble that she gets trapped in the rubble, so she can't get somewhere safe. And then they're setting up the second round, and they're obviously going to hit her this round, And that's when Hunt realizes what he has to do. I don't really get why he tells Fury to make the helicopter go really high.
No.
Wouldn't you want to just go low and boop, pop out?
Yeah, it's a big question mark for me. But
big question mark for me.
I need to be as high as possible when I get dropped on top of Bryce.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. So there's something in that clearly I'm missing.
Right. That's on you.
But yeah, right as they shoot the next missile, he launches himself out of the helicopter in order to basically try to save her by protecting her with his body, I think is the plan.
Yeah.
And that's sort of, we're left in suspense.
No, that is, in fact, where we end. Oh, well, who knows? Maybe this doesn't work and they both just perish. Who's to say?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the next 10 chapters are just sort of
us following
up.
Syrinx.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Adventures of Therian and Syrinx, which honestly here for.
That
so
actually sounds great.
Yeah. Again, I know you guys aren't big action scene girlies, but this was an emotional one. We had allies, we had redemption, we had, a lot of stuff going on.
For sure.
Tears were in fact jerked.
Last episode next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, tune in next week, obviously, for the thrilling conclusion.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like we might have some news to share about what we're doing next.
Yeah, we will indeed. But until then, feel free to say hi, TikTok, Insta, send us a note, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.